Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another episode of Darwin Mountain Bike Life. So we're doing another camping trip. Yeah, so I've come out to Dundee Beach, which is a little lifestyle community, about an hour and a half out of Darwin. So what I've done is, loaded up my San Quentin. My baby's got a fat ass. And I'm about to ride out to a place that I've been wanting to camp at for years, but I've never been able to get there because to get there by car is pretty dicey. So that's why you ride a bike. So I've already had one failure. I've already had to put a tube in the front. It just was not working for me. So anyway, let's continue on. Hope you enjoy. All right, look into the sand. Yeah, so just while we're walking through this sandy patch, and hopefully you can hear me because it's a bit windy today. Should be all right, it's not too bad. But yeah, just while we're walking through this. So, the reason why I wanted to camp here was because I've never been able to really get here before. I did walk down to it once, but that's when I was camping at another spot because, to get to it's actually, pretty sketchy. To get to by car, it's all tidal and stuff and everything. Oh, we can see a bit of the beach over there. So yeah, it's all tidal and stuff, and to get there with your car is pretty hectic. And I've already lost one car to the ocean before in the tide, so I don't really want that to happen again. So so I'm hoping I can get across the tidal mud flat. This bike is so heavy. I'll tell you what, this is a heap easier going than the last time I did this, and I had a 20 kilogram backpack. That really sucked. Anyway guys, let's continue on. And we're back riding. Ground's finally hard enough to get back on the bike and pedal. A few grasshoppers around. Ooh, pretty flowers. All right, so if I go up that way, that goes to a place called Tamar Creek, but what I want to do is I want to stay going this way and eventually head right, because I want to get around the other side of Tamar Creek. So, and that's across the mud flat. Speaking of mud, so the mud flat could be a bit dicey. We'll see how we go. Whoop, whoop. Hit more sand again. Whew. So I think this is the start of the mud flat. Looks a bit different from last time I came out here. But I think this is it. So you come onto here, and then you go up there. And this is only a tiny touch of the mud flat. There's heaps more to go. Check out the crabs. There's heaps of them. Don't know if they're edible, but you wouldn't get much of them. All right, let's get going. And then you got to backtrack because it's not actually where you think you're going. No wonder it looked different. Hello, little fella. What's going? Okay, I think it's safe to say that I've taken a wrong turn somewhere because I'm not meant to be on the beach for quite a while. All right, so I've taken a wrong turn somewhere. I'm actually at Tamar Creek, which is the creek that I was trying to go around behind to get up to the place where I'm going. It's still low tide and there's still some rocks sticking out over there, so I'm wondering if I can actually carry my shit across and then just keep riding up, because it's somewhere up that way where I want to be. I've camped up there heaps of times before. Awesome camping spot. You come down, you're straight on the creek. Sometimes the fishing's good here, sometimes it's not. So anyway, I'm actually going to look at that crossing first, and then if I decide not to do it, because there is crocodiles and stuff, and if it's deep, I'm not getting in there. If it is too deep, I'll have a look at my map and backtrack and then figure out a way. So, but I'm trying not to expend too much energy because I've only got a limited amount of water with me. So here we go. Really shallow water out there. It's, even though the tide's started to come in, it's still running out, so that's a good thing. It means I should be able to cross and then go up the beach. Whoop. Alright, before anyone starts going nuts at me in the comments, I'm going to wash the hell out of my bike when I get home, get all the salt water off. Probably not a good idea to leave it on. Ugh. Probably not a good idea to leave it on there. Now, I reckon I only just made it across because the water's still flowing out here, but you can see that the tide is just starting to push up. I reckon another 20 minutes, half an hour, probably wouldn't have been able to get across. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty stoked. Pretty happy with that, pretty stoked I managed to get across. So, yeah, and to tell you the truth, it's actually a bit of a shortcut because pretty sure the other way would have taken me right out, down, around, and well, I'll try and take that way back tomorrow because I'll actually find the track that I was meant to take. But for now, considering I'm running so behind, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Okay, we crossed the creek, just getting across these bit of a washouts, and yeah, hopefully I can make it a little bit further up the beach. Hopefully the sand is a bit more firm and I'll be able to ride down to where I want to go. The times when I wish I had a fat bike. Oh, would you look at that? In low range, just taking it slow and steady across the sand. So I'm pretty sure that's it up there. Big semicircle, or it might be the next one over. But either way, making good time. Check out how high the tide comes up over here. Now check that out. I mean, if it was high tide, there was no way in hell that I would have been riding across here. Like I would have been pretty much underwater right now. You know, playing with the crocs and the sharks and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is beautiful. This is living life. Woo! All right, so I'm pretty sure this is it. There's the track over there. Yeah, there's the track over there where I pretty sure I was actually meant to come in across that mud flat. So yeah, looks like I found the spot for the night. And the reason why is because it's a big semicircle reef just over here. So, you know, I don't know about you, but I'm a big kid and kids enjoy playing in rock pools. So yeah, and I've got all that shelf to walk out and flick some lures off of and yeah, see what I can do about catching something for dinner. So anyway, yeah, I suppose I've got to try and get up that. Ugh. Okay, so I've just arrived at my spot. Yeah, pretty happy with it. So, you know, straight down there, it's my bit of a atoll thing, whatever you want to call it, my semicircle of reef. There's some other guys camped up there, not sure if you can see them. I hope they realise that I'm a human and not something to take pot shots at. But anyway, might wander down later and say good day after I've had a couple of ports. But yeah, so yeah, this is my camping spot for tonight. Pretty sweet. Alright, so I've just gone down the beach and grabbed a couple of bits of driftwood and yeah, just dug a hole about a foot deep, buried them in, and yeah, I'm going to string my tarp from there to there, and yeah, so this roughly here will be my bed for the night. I'm going to clean it up a little bit and shit and pull that out, and yeah, but yeah, that's roughly about as wide as I need it to be. So yeah, we'll grab out tarp and string her up and see how she looks. Alright, that's home for tonight. I might get another pole and string it just around here so I can pull that bit up and have it up. But yeah, you know what, it's a little bit of shade, I can chuck my gear under there, so I'm not actually too worried about it. I might just yeah, just clear this out so I can have a little fire there, cook my food, and yeah, start enjoying this beautiful, beautiful scenery. Okay, that tide is really starting to hammer in, so I'm going to flick a lure for a little bit, and yeah, then hopefully I can catch fish. It's not going to be absolute, you know, mayhem if I don't catch fish. I did bring lots of food, as I always do, but yeah, sort of be nice to catch fish. So yeah, I'll rig this up and yeah, go flick a lure for a bit, see what pops up. Oh, a little shark. You see him? There's fish here. All right, there's stuff for trolling here. So let's change up a lure and see what we get. This tide is definitely hammering up. All right, no bites, but there is definitely fish there. So yeah, what I might do is I'm gonna go get some firewood, and I'm going to get myself set up a bit better, and yeah, then I'm gonna come back with some bait later on. So finish setting up camp. I tell you what, man, when you're 100 kilograms of raw power, those rocks start to feel pretty bloody hectic on your feet. All right, where are you? It's pretty much everything around here has teeth. So I've got this wire trace. It's like the longest wire trace I've ever seen. Got some squid, got a hook, got a little sinker, because I've either got that or one that's going to be absolutely huge and not really work with the setup that I want to run. So let's get stinky. What does that look like? Let's just start with the head. There we go. Got snagged and broken off. I'm not about to rob a store, I'm just trying to keep a bit of the sun off me, because it's just bouncing straight off the water, straight on me. So yeah, give it a while longer, see if I can get something. If not, good thing I brought some stuff to cook. All right, so I'm a shit fisherman, didn't catch any fish, did see fish around, but they weren't really biting. So the sun should set in roughly about, I don't know, hour and a half. It's about 5:30 now, so yeah, about an hour and a half, which I think coincides with high tide. So I might just sit up here, you know, and get stuck into the port. So the last time I had a Brown Brothers port, and don't get me wrong, it was nice, it did the job. This one's a Grant Burge one, it's only about 20 bucks a bottle from Woolies. Much prefer it, a bit more of a dirtier flavour to it, and not as sweet as the Brown Brothers, so cheers. Alright, so it's about 6 o'clock now, so yeah, I'm going to start preparing some dinner. So I'm a shit fisherman, so I'm not eating fish tonight. However, I do have something equally as yummy. It might not sound that yummy, but I'll tell you what, it is. So anyway, I've decided against having a fire because there's just so much dead grass around, and I passed through a whole bunch of grass fires on the way out here, so I don't particularly feel like getting burnt down tonight. So I did bring the little gas stove just in case, and yeah, gonna crank that up. So all right, let's show it. Alright, so tonight I've got some broccolini, some mushrooms, some garlic, and some couscous. Now, I know couscous probably doesn't sound that great, but if you flavour it right, it's actually really good. So it's actually quite surprisingly good. So a couple of cloves of garlic to start with. I'm just going to chop those up as fine as I can get it. I am out camping, so I'm not expecting, you know, great things to happen. So I'm not too worried about casting away this garlic husk, because yeah, All right, so gonna start with some garlic. And just chop that up as fine as I can get it. All right, so garlic's all chopped up, and I'm gonna put that straight into the pan. After I just get some of that sand off. Not too sure if I'm gonna do too much more beach camping. Next, we've got some broccolini. So I'm a big fan of using the stalks of broccoli. So broccolini actually works really, really well for me. So I'm just going to chop them up and stick them in the pan as well. Okay, next to go in is mushrooms. I don't take the centers out, I just chop them up, throw the whole thing in. Absolutely delicious, this dish. Went camping with a friend of mine. Wasn't bike camping, so it hasn't been on the channel. But yeah, we fried up broccoli and mushrooms just in the fry pan. We had it with some steak and stuff and some veggies, and it was just absolutely unreal. Like, we could have just eaten the mushroom and the broccoli just by itself. So that's where this came from. And yeah, couscous, easy to carry. Just throw some water with it, you know, give it a very, you know, heat up the water, throw it in. You could be like one of those stoveless people, but yeah, they're just weirdos. And yeah, just mix it all together. So we'll just make sure that this broccoli and mushrooms are cooked down nicely, and hopefully while it's cooking, that'll keep the midges away. It's starting to get pretty fierce. All right, I'm gonna put a whole heap of oil in there, like just a whole heap of olive oil. So I have bad habits, I vape, so I've got plenty of these tubes left over at home, and yeah, they work a treat actually for carrying small amounts of liquids around. So yeah, all right, let's fire this baby up. Not a bad way to finish the day, cooking up some dinner with an absolutely amazing sunset in the background. So yeah, this is living. Okay, just while that's frying away, I'll tell you about my couscous. So it's just half a cup of couscous, because it does actually build up quite large. And then I've got like some roasted nibble mix from Woolies in their health food section. So I chucked another half a cup of that in there. I've got about a teaspoon and a half of Moroccan seasoning and a teaspoon of chili flakes. And yeah, so it's flavoured quite nicely. I reckon I might squeeze some lemon over the top of this afterwards. So yeah, just yeah, you swell it all up. I've even got some almonds in there, you know, just to give it a bit of extra crunch. So, you know, after you've swelled it all up, just put a little bit of olive oil in there, just so it's not gluggy. And yeah, then yeah, I'd, you know, probably just before you're about to eat it, just put a bit of a squeeze of lemon over the top, and yeah, she's good. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's reducing down beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. That is great. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to the side and start preparing this couscous. So just got that over there. Don't get any sand in you. I really, really want to eat you, and I don't want any sand. Thank you very much. All right, yeah, let's get the couscous going. Yeah, so one of the programs that I follow on YouTube, he's got this set here. So it's got a 1 litre water bottle. It's got a little tiny cup or billy can. How many mil is it? It's actually got it on the inside. So it's a 700 ml cup. So I only need 250 mil. So I'll just go halfway up to the 500. And that'll be half a cup, I think. And yeah, so I'll just put a bit of water in there. It also comes with one of these pot stands as well, you know, which is pretty cool. So I'll just put sand everywhere. Great. Such is life. Yeah, so I'm just going to boil half a cup of water and then add my couscous into this, and then just as soon as that's finished, I'm going to let it settle to one side. So here we go. And that is about that there. All right. Now, and there she is. She is boiling. So I'll switch this. Whoop, switch it off. There we go. And yeah, all we got to do is add the bag of couscous that we just had before. That one. Great. All right, so that's all added. We'll clean our spoon off from all that sand from before. And just stir. Give it a good stir. Mix it all around. And now, I'm just going to let that sit for about 3 minutes and enjoy the last of that amazing sunset. The colours are just brilliant, just amazing. There's some campers up there, and yeah, hopefully they don't take some pot shots at me during the night. Oh, this is my midget cover. Alright, so just off camera I put some oil in here. Just a bit of olive oil just to break it up a bit. It is nearly finished soaking up all that water. And yeah, we're almost ready to go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it through our broccoli and mushroom mix. And then chuck it in a plate and she'll be good to go. Yeah, so just while that's, you know, doing its last little soak, I'm just going to get a little bit of lemon. I'm going to need a bit more than that, just to squeeze over it afterwards. So, and then the rest of this I'm going to chuck in a Ziploc bag, and hopefully it'll go with some fish tomorrow. Alright, so the couscous has finished absorbing all the water. It's still pretty gluggy. I did put a fair bit of oil in there, but I don't know, I must have done something wrong. So anyway, I'm just going to scoop it all into here and stir it around. And that is a stonking dinner. I've made way too much, but you know what? I like to eat, so I'd rather... Gosh, I'll just get it all in there. Alright. And that sun is hammering down, so just going to give it a good stir. Oh, that just looks amazeballs. And yeah, just gonna scoop some into that. Get a bit of lemon, squeeze it over the top. Just that little bit of extra zing. All right, let's give this a go. All right, let's give this a go, see what it tastes like. That was really, really good. I reckon you could probably like get like those soft packets of tuna, or you know, tins of chicken or something like that if you really want to eat. But honestly, don't think it needs it. And the lemon on top of it has actually complemented it really, really well. So yeah, there's them off. So there you go. If you're out for a 1 or 2 night trip, or you know, if you're doing some bikepacking and you're stopping, you know, it's one of those days where you stop through the shops, grab some couscous and broccolini and mushrooms and some roasted mix and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's really, really good. I'm actually quite enjoying this. Oh, and a lemon. I think the lemon really does it. Anyway, so I'm going to finish this up. Tidy up camp a bit. As you can see, I've just got shit everywhere. I'm a little bit disorganised at the moment. Yeah, throwing everything together to get out here was just a bit of mayhem. Like, I had so much trouble trying to do the tubeless in my in the front wheel of my bike. Had a crack at it one day, didn't work. All right, cool. Put in some new tape. That failed. Had another crack at it just before I came out here. Pumped it up to 40 psi. It was holding. Yep, no worries. All right, throw it on the back of the car. Got out here. It was dead. So yeah, it was. I was running so behind today. I just threw everything together and I just came out here. So anyway, yeah. So I'm going to smash this, clean up camp, and yeah, I'll get back to you in a bit. It's just about dark, but there's just still a little bit of a red tinge just out there. As I said, I love this place. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a boat light blinking just out there, and you know, there's a few boats just over there. Yeah, it's just yeah, very tranquil, very nice.
Morning. I slept like crap, but I did get some sleep in, so yeah, time to get up and start making the best of the day. No kidding, I just got nailed by a mozzie through my board shorts on the that wasn't fun. I don't know if you can see it, but through there's actually water, and that's the mud flat to get back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the tide to drop. I've got a hell of a long time until that drops, and come back to my car the way that I went before. So because I don't particularly want to go across the mud flat that's had water over the top of it. Anyway, time for a cup of swamp water. Now that is how you make a good old cup of swamp water. Woo! Got some milk powder here. Put that in. Grab some swamp water. Put a little bit in, just give it a stir beforehand, just so it doesn't go all clumpy. Alright. We'll fill it up the rest of the way. She's a bit hot. She'll do. Very hot. Might give that a minute to cool down. Alright, so I'm going to flick some lures around for a while. See if there's anything out there patrolling with the, you know, first bits of sunlight of the day. And yeah, then later on, once the tide drops a bit, I'll switch over to bait. And yeah, see if I can catch some of those reef fish that I was looking at yesterday. It'd be lovely to get a Spanish flag. Like, they're not a very well, they're not caught that much, which is really unfortunate, because they're actually quite a tasty fish. But they've got no market value, so I suppose that's why there's plenty of them, because you know the pro fishermen don't target them. Anyway, I am going to leave a trace on because there is toothy stuff out there. So yeah, I'll get this rigged up and let's hit the beach. Yeah. Climb down the sand dune. Just beautiful. Woo! Tactic, change lure. I mean, that is like the tastiest looking lure and nothing's going for it. Alright, let's see if the old Nicole Kidman works. Can you see the stingray? There's two of them right there. Can you see them? Yeah, right there. You see a big, long, spiny tail. There's fish here. There is fish here. I just need to get them to bite my bloody lure. And there's like a whole school of scats, I think, right there. This place is alive with fish. Yeah, and there's more over there. I'm not sure if you can see them, but yeah, looks pretty cool. Yeah, I just need to try and get them to go for my lure. That'd be great if I had a cast net. I'd have live bait for days. Alright, so I've come back up to camp. There is definitely fish there, but I think there's two things going on as to why they're not really going for my lures. I did get a bump on one of my lures, but yeah, like I've got one of these dirty great big traces with that sitting on the end of it on a fairly smallish lure. So I think that's scaring them off, plus they can see the trace. So, you know, I wouldn't try and bite something that looks like it's got a line attached to it. So I'm gonna switch back to the good old fluorocarbon leader in the hope that that helps, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm gonna re-rig. Oh, and surface lures as well. I've noticed there's a lot of fish feeding at the surface, including king salmon. So it'd be lovely to get one of those for breakfast. I'm not sure if my setup will be able to handle it though. Anyway, I'm gonna rig this up and get back down there. Alright, so I had a really good bite down there, but unfortunately it got off. So I'm changing up tactic yet again, and I'm going to use this little homemade lure that I had. Now all this is a bit of rope that I've tied around a hook, and yeah, what it does is that skirts through the water, and I'm pretty sure there's long tom out there. So what happens is the long tom bites onto it, and because they got lots of short spiny teeth and their mouth's really bony, the hook won't go in, but the rope should tangle them up. So I'm hoping that this might see me with a long tom for the morning. So all you got to do is just put a sinker on that, attach it to that so it's got a bit of weight so you can cast it, and yeah, away you go. If this doesn't work, although I've been told long tom aren't that great, but there's other people I've seen on YouTube that just rave about them. So yeah, if this doesn't work, it looks like cereal for breakfast. That just looks tasty, don't you think? A couple of sinkers and yeah, just a whole bunch of rope and a hook, just in case that something bites it that won't get caught up in the rope. Let's go fishing. All right, I've got some dirty, stinking, rotting bait. Ugh. Like proper dirty rotten bait. I buried it overnight just to try and preserve it a bit. Ugh. Bit of squid. Oh, it's slimy. One of the joys of fishing. Yeah! He didn't put up as much of a fight as I thought he was going to. But that is a beautiful little cod. So I decided to let the fish go and pack up camp and head back because it's actually quite hot, and there is like no shade around here. So I've pretty much just packed up. I've just got to put that stuff on the bike and in my backpack, throw it on the San Quentin, and then get out of here. All right, you know what? I'm just going to leave it there. Guys, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. I've actually misplaced
the screw for my GoPro mount, so yeah, I'm not going to be filming the ride back to the car, but that's all right. You already saw me riding here yesterday. So anyway, got everything packed up. Yeah, just got to put that stuff in my backpack and yeah, make my way out. Starting to feel a little bit dehydrated, but I've got a bit over 3 litres of water on me, so plenty to get back to the car with. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Yo!